Right, tea tonight, broccoli Stilton soup. Got broccoli left over from Sunday dinner. Got some chicken as well left over there Sunday dinner, but we're not doing anything with that today. I was going to do a Chinese style chicken sweet corn soup with it. Might do that tomorrow. But this is what we're going to use for our soup. Always celery for me for a base in any stocks. So one piece of celery. I have here some leftover broccoli, like I say. I'm going to make a large one. Like this. I'm going to freeze it, what we don't have. Also going to use a stalk. Why waste it? What for? I don't get it. Onion, because I'm using half an onion because it was using something else. We've got some leek there to go in it that's left over too. A big chunk of Stilton, stock, veg stock, and oil. Use what oil you want, whichever oil you want. So now we're going to rush through this. I'm going to go through this pretty fast. I'm going to put my pan on a nice low heat. So while I'm chopping, everything's getting done. I'm going to put my oil in, maybe 2 tablespoons. 1, 2, like so. Put it back with the rest of the oils, and get on with my celery. Here's the celery. It doesn't matter how small it is or how big it is. We're going to blitz it up with the hand blender. So I don't know why I'm cutting it so small. It'll cook quicker, the smaller it is, I guess. But should we do a bit faster? You get it out of the way. With your leek, the end's still on. What I'm going to do is cut that end off there. Make sure we pass. Yep. Put that there. Cut along it. Now, you're going to run the water down there. If it was the end, but this is absolutely spot clear except for that piece there, which is just a bit there. At the end, it can be very gritty, but this is fine. So I'm going to cut it that way and that way. Mix all this together like so. It's ready to also fry. I'm going to take the centre piece out. I bet it's chopped up, it'll all fit in the blender. 1 onion, again, doesn't really matter, but it's good practice to get in your chopping your onion. If you keep this on the back and just do this, you get used to doing that, and there we go, that can all go in the pan. Now that pan should have a bit of heat on it. Remember what we told you on other videos about the way it moves. Is it moving like water, or is it moving like a bit sludgy in oil? Well, that for me is moving like in between. So another couple of seconds on that. I'm going to take my stock cubes out. I'm going to use 2 stock cubes, just vegetable stock cubes. Keeps it vegetarian to use vegetable stock cubes because the cheese takes it away from being vegan, as you know. Anyway, all that. Onion, celery goes in. Let's stir it around with my little pink thing there. I'm just going to give that 5 minutes to do. Just leave it on the heat, it will not hurt. You want to add a bit more oil, salt, pepper, whatever. Oh, something else you can add to any soup is a little bit of garlic. You don't want too much because this is a British classic soup, it's not a French soup or anything. So we don't want a massive, we don't want to be able to taste the garlic, we just want something in the background that's just making you think, so it's more of an aromatic than anything else. We don't want the garlic, we just slight garlic flavour. Because I'm using 2 heads of broccoli, 2 pieces of garlic, fine. Anyway, if you look here, well, there's a little bit more. Well, that's the end part, we don't want that. A bit there. Just let that and throw that in. I'm going to do a quick peel on this, just on the side bits. This has all been washed, this broccoli, by the way. You need to wash broccoli because inside, in these little areas there, you get little crawlies and all sorts that can crawl in them while out. These are grown in, this is organic broccoli because that's the way we roll. But it still has a load of fertiliser on it and insecticides. So I think non-organic would probably use about 20 insecticides, something around that. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 100%. But this will still use about 2 or 3 insecticides, and it'll also use fertiliser in the soil as well. But it's organic. Organic's not organic, really. It's not totally organic. Anyway, there's a boring bit of stuff. Shell's looking like this. She's looking. That's so boring, but it's what it is. The stalk we're going to cut thinner because it's a little bit more hardy than the. So we're just going to cut them like that. As I say, why waste it? You know, little all things like that. It's got that broccoli flavour. The heads we're going to cut off like so, like that. All the heads are off. Put them to the side. And to make them smaller for the pan, you can just cut them down like so. So I'm going to put them at the back there. Should have a bowl, but it's a rush tea. I'll say, I'm in the middle of doing a shed outside as well, so I've got to do tea quickly. Open a tin, you say? No, it's disgusting. I open an old tin. Tastes like nothing. So we're just going to do this. It's all small. Same with this one. And this will do us for a little bit more than a tin, obviously, but this is going to do us about 10 tins for a hell of a lot less than what I would be paying for those tins. This again, I'm just going to cut them sides off there, put it to this. You can use this in a stock. Everything we've got left over, you could just throw it in a stock, you know. Don't try that at home unless you're very good at doing it. Right? Anyway, now my stalks going in at this stage because it's a bit harder. So I'll add a bit more oil. Open up these glass bottles. You know, that one. About another 2 tablespoons there. Stirring it round. There's our mix in there. In the meantime, what we have is we try to soften it up a little bit, not massively. We're going to throw all that in. We're going to cover it, just about cover it with water. We're going to get the water to heat because it'll wilt down a little bit. And then in about 15-20 minutes, we'll be back. Okay, right, back in. My onions are now softened up. They've gone clear, a little bit of sweetness. So we're now going to put our broccoli in there. It's going to fill this pan right up so you see how many tins of soup you would actually get for your buck. And seriously, I think the broccoli's 50p a bunch or something around that. The rest of it is about the whole lot of this. The Stilton's the dearest thing. So you're looking at about 8 tins of soup or something, 5 tins of soup for about £2.50, £3, something like that, which I think is more than reasonable. So there we go. The broccoli's now in. We're going to take our hot water and turn it right up now. Come over, have a look at that. Right, see the broccoli, some is over, but we're going to lid this, so not a worry. We're going to press it down. As it softens, it's going to go under. Look at the, see the change of colour there? This, look at the beautiful greenness on that now. But anyway, that's just me and food. There we go. That's in. I'm going to keep that on high. I'm going to let it go at the boil. As soon as it starts to boil, I'm going to drop it down. We don't put salt and pepper in at this stage. No way. Not yet. Or the stock cubes. But what we can do is prep our cheese. Now, this at the back is perfectly edible. We're going to cut it off like so. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with eating that. That's just the bit that's oxidised. It's fine. But I shouldn't have. No, it's alright. It's fine. That wasn't funny, that was it, yours? You like that? Did you like it? Yeah, so-so. That's a so-so movement, that's a new in that. Right, well the end's off there as well. We need this full block of cheese to go in that. What we're going to do is save some for a finish at the end. Crumble a little few bits. In the centre, a bit of bright yellow rapeseed oil, fine pressed rapeseed oil with it, and that's fine. So I'm going to put that, no, not that piece. And I put that piece for my crumbler, and this piece, this lot I'm just going to cut like that, put it in a bowl at the side. It'll all melt into it, but we're going to blitz it in to give it a hand. So all that's just going to sit in our bowl, waiting. So there. I love this stuff. If you do love Stilton, the worst possible thing you could do. Do you know what the worst thing you could do? Shell doesn't know what the worst thing you can do. Well, the worst thing you can do is if you're trying to get as a chef, a right balance on a broccoli and Stilton is if you eat a piece of that Stilton while you're doing it. You can't taste Stilton then. It's all you can. It's so strong that if you put a little bit, you'll have I put enough in, and you keep putting it in till you taste it like solid Stilton. Never taste a Stilton when you're doing it. You might say, oh, you had a bit of the skim, but by the time we come up and mix it up, it won't work. Don't eat the Stilton because you've got to taste it without eating it. Taste the soup. Right here, come back over. There we go. So I mean, it's all in now, isn't it? It wasn't before, but it's all started to sag down into there. I'm now going to drop it to a low. I'm going to let the water come off it. Water's always the enemy of food, and let the water come off. And as I said to you before, only this time I mean it, see you in 15-20 minutes. Back again, 15-20 minutes later, it is. We're going to check it. Right, the ends of the stalks, see it's all broke off the top. It's going to happen. Make sure they're pretty soft. They're pretty soft. They ain't going to stick right in, but we can tell by the colour and the fact that the top of them is all falling to pieces. See, they're coming apart there. Now, as I said, you're going to need your hand blender, cheapy hand blender. It's not turned on. Ready to go. We've got our 2 stock cubes here, 2 vegetable stock cubes, because I have way over a litre there. So probably about 1.5 litres, something like that. So these are recommended for about 400 millilitres. So we're going to chuck a couple in. Or I'll tell you what we'll do our taste. So there's 1.5 in, and we're going to blend. Just blend them into it. You notice the water hasn't changed any, the water's always the same in there. We cleaned everything that went in it, so we get no scummy bits and no impurities, especially because it was organic as well. Mixing our soup up. If it's not thick enough for you, if it's too thin, you can keep cooking it, the water will keep coming off. You can take water out in the first place. Easy enough. And remember what I said to you about lifting this up and down. Don't put it on there. Put it in, then turn it on. Up, down, all the way around. Take it on around. So I've got to keep doing that for a bit because there's quite a lot of soup there. This is probably getting a bit boring too. So while Shell stops it, oh, you will notice as well, I haven't tasted my Stilton at all, because if I did, I'd have ruined it. And on the Stilton front, when you're thinking, oh no, I don't like Stilton, I do know someone else who didn't like Stilton at all. I mean, they really don't like Stilton. Who was that person now? Who was it? Do you know who it was? Do you know who it was, Michelle? Oh, it was you! Michelle doesn't like Stilton at all, but in this soup, she loves it. Is this your favourite soup, Shell? Yeah, Shell's favourite soup. So there we go. Don't think because you don't like something, like celery, like mustard, like a little teeny bit in something, makes a massive difference. While I'm doing this, because I'm running out of things to talk about, we're going to do this. Got it quite smooth. We're not going to pass this one, we're not going to put it through a sieve, but I am going to taste it now because I've not put anything in it. I need to know where it's up to. It's very nice as it is. That's with nothing in it. So I'll let the Jones all have a go. I think it's very nice. Yep, she thinks it's very nice. But we haven't put any salt in. We've got 1.5 litres, 2 litres there. So there's 2 grams of salt. I grabbed a big bit. Let's go 3 grams of salt. And over the pepper. I think it could probably do with that other bit of stock cube too. So I put now the full 2 stock cubes in. I'm blending that well. See, now it's more very, very soupy texture. With 3 grams of salt in it. So we'll see what it's like now. Are we getting better? Yes, I think so. But we'll get the expert opinion of Miss Broccoli Soup herself. A lot better, a lot better. I think that'll take more salt. It will take more. So another gram of salt's going in. That's 4 grams in 2 litres. So that's every, it's 0.2 grams per 100, which is low. The broccoli's got a little bit of salt in it. The cheese has got a lot. So this probably all works out pretty medium in salt. What I do like to do always with my food. It's just like in the industry, just a little bit of sugar too. It's not, I mean, we're talking half a teaspoon there. You could put honey in this and blow it out the pan. So a little bit of sugar in your soup to make them amazing. Now Our broccoli needs to go in. It's hot broccoli. I'm going to put half of that in. I'm going to just break it in my Stilton, like so, and then we're going to taste. Because I didn't taste the Stilton. Because if I taste the Stilton before I do this, it's not going to be good, is it, Jones? So now for those who don't like a massive taste of Stilton, this is a better way of doing it. But I personally think you can't get enough of this stuff. Let's see what the professional thinks. What do you think of this? Does it need more Stilton? Oh yeah, without a doubt. See, she knows broccoli and Stilton. We're going to put the full block in, like so, and then blend it in. Taste it again. Can't really put any more in because we haven't got any more. But you can see, if you can see how much soup we've got there. That's about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5, 6 cans of soup. For as with everything, when you taste this and you taste stuff like that can you're going to buy from whoever makes it, there's a huge difference. Now this is our final. Lovely. I'm not going to say it's horrible, am I? But I would do, you know, to be honest. What are you thinking, Shell Bells? She's nodding her head. She shouldn't nod the camera. She's nodding the camera. That's cool. A little bit more pepper. No more salt. Well, it could take more salt, but you could add cream in that and call it cream of broccoli and Stilton soup or something if you wanted, if you like a bit of cream. What have I said we're going to do before I'm going to do this, right? I love this oil. I can't big cold press rapeseed up enough. I love the colour of it, see how bright yellow it is. I love using it on cold foods, just around the plate on hot foods because it gives a great touch anyway. And we're just going to finish it with a little bit of the crushed broccoli that I told you to do before. I'm saying broccoli. A little bit of the, why am I tipping that in there? That's so unprofessional. A little bit of the crushed Stilton. Got our ladle right to the centre. Tip it out like that so we're not spilling it. Nice and lovely, and beautiful thickness on it. Beautiful colour. I'm going to go with a bit more than that, you know. It's just used to restaurant portions. So we've got a bit of our Stilton here. This will make this more Stilton-y as well. A little bit of Stilton in the centre. And with our rapeseed, we're just going to a few drips around, a little swirl like so, and